I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Instagram has been spilling some tea as of recently. They've been sharing a ton of content, spilling the secrets about how you can grow on Instagram according to Instagram. Now, to save you the time from going through all this content that they've been sharing, me and my team have accumulated the best advice that Instagram has shared all into this one video. And you're gonna wanna stick around to the end because I'm sharing one bonus tip that helped my security client go from 800 followers to over 8,000 and secure over 20 new employees for his business. So let's get to it. Now, first off, let's get the big one out of the way, the algorithm. Adam Mosseri, the head of Instagram, shared a video that said that reposts along with shares are two of the strongest signals that your video can send to the algorithm.
Some advice. One of the most important signals we use in ranking is sends per reach. So out of all the people who saw your reel or your photo, how many of them sent it to a friend in a DM?
Now, just in case you're new to Instagram and you don't really know much about it, Instagram uses an AI algorithm to power their platform. This decides whether your video goes to only 1 or 2 people or thousands or even millions of viewers. What Adam Mosseri is sharing in this video is that shares are just so important, as well as their new feature reposts. So if you create content for your business or your personal brand that's share worthy, you're going to get pushed out to the algorithm. They haven't really told us this before. People generally knew that shares were important, but Adam Mosseri revealing this to all of us just confirms our thoughts. Overall, what you need to do is start creating content that will be shared, and overall, your content is going to perform better. Let's stay on the theme of the algorithm. There's been a few more nuggets that Instagram has been handing out to us about how we can grow on Instagram. So Instagram also told us that each post is evaluated on their own.
We primarily evaluate each post on its own merits. Just because a post underperforms doesn't mean future posts are going to see reduced reach or distribution.
There is obviously one exception to this, and that's if your account is being restricted by Instagram. If you're unsure if you're being shadow banned or restricted, you can go to your settings and check your account status. Most of the time, you should just see 4 green check marks, but if you are being restricted, it's because you broke one of Instagram's policies or terms of service. If your content isn't being restricted, you can consider every single new post as a new opportunity to go viral. And going back to my point about being restricted, there is no shadow banning. It's not real. Instagram recently confirmed this. So if they're telling you you're not restricted, you aren't restricted. It's simply just your content. Now, this next nugget that Instagram told us is huge. Editing a piece of content that's already been put out is not going to re-rank it in the algorithm.
We don't re-rank a piece of content because you've made changes to it, like editing the caption.
Why would people think this in the first place? Well, on TikTok, there's a very popular strategy that if your video gets low views or even 0 views, all you need to do is re-edit the thumbnail, caption, or other aspects of the videos to get it re-ranked in their algorithm to push out to new viewers. Unfortunately, Instagram does not have this feature, and they confirmed it themselves. So don't stress about your captions, because it's not like it's gonna go,
"Oh wow, look at this new caption, it's so much better, we're gonna make this video blow up."
But then also on the better side, if you messed up in your caption, re-editing it isn't going to push it down the ranks of the algorithm. Instagram also said that your content can reach people for weeks and weeks to come.
Now, it's true most things you post are going to get most of their reach in, let's call it 2 days, but some things are more evergreen in nature.
I feel like a lot of people have known this, but if you didn't, that's completely all right. But I've seen with multiple of my clients and my old videos that it would randomly blow up after 30 days or even 60. The confusion on this topic is really understandable because people think,
"Oh, Instagram, short form. Oh, 1, 2 days, 24, 48 hours.
They think that the content will only be pushed for so long, but it's completely not true. Adam Mosseri specifically used the term evergreen content to refer to these types of videos. Some videos are just meant for people to find later on. They'll perform better over time. It's not something that'll just blow up in 24 hours. With that said, avoid deleting your content. It's one of the worst mistakes that newer creators make. Whatever your excuse is, it's not justifiable because again, I've seen it firsthand where videos will blow up 1 or 2 months later. So keep an eye on your insights because who knows, maybe the 30,000 views you got last month completely changes because your video that you posted at the start of the month just completely blew up. Now, the last nugget I'm going to give you guys about growing on Instagram is that you need to experiment and get creative with your content.
We want Instagram to be a place where creatives can feel comfortable experimenting and expressing themselves.
Top of that, don't let yourself get bogged down by the algorithm, aka not getting a lot of views, because it'll impact your creativity and your ability to create cool videos. So let's move on from the algorithm, even though I guess this is kind of connected still, and talk about hashtags. How is it late 2025, or if you were even seeing this video in 2026, and we're still talking about hashtags? Hashtags haven't been important in the last few years, and what's ranking on top of that is SEO, or search engine optimization, but that's for another video. Let's stay on the topic of hashtags specifically, and what Instagram has said about them. So the head of Instagram, again, Adam Mosseri, literally said this.
do hashtags improve
Yeah.
visibility? And you said no.
Not really.
I just like screenshotted that.
What he's made clear is that hashtags can make it easier for people to find your content, but it isn't necessarily going to rank it higher in the algorithm. If you're using hashtag Northern Virginia, hashtag security, hashtag Dallas, hashtag interior design, there is a chance that someone specifically using the Instagram search feature for one of those 4 hashtags I just mentioned will find your content. However, Instagram has said it's not going to increase your reach. Overall, don't put 20 different hashtags in your captions to maximize your reach, because that isn't the 2025 or 2026 Instagram. That said, if you decide to include hashtags in your captions or comments, or you put a caption, you need to be very intentional with the words that you pick. This ties into SEO, which I'm definitely gonna make another video about. All right, so let's get off these hashtags and algorithm talk and talk about the actual content that you create. Here's some tips, tricks, and extra nuggets that Instagram has said will help you grow. First off, Instagram has said that if you make content that evokes strong emotions like fear, sadness, or happiness, it will tend to perform better. It also said that posts, carousels, or reels that are very niche down will also perform better. To give you a quick example, don't make content on dogs. Make content on senior dogs. Or if you want to niche down further, senior pugs, senior Shiba Inus, senior golden retrievers. Or if you want to talk about puppies, talk about a certain breed of puppies. The more niche down you are, the better your content will perform, as well as the better your audience will be engaged with you. The reason for this is because it'll resonate deeper with your desired audience, because it's something that they truly care about. If you're able to share content that you truly care about, that other people truly care about, you're gonna be so much more connected with your audience, and you're just gonna have so much better of an experience on Instagram. This is also mixed in with what I said at the start of the video, that shares and reposts are so important. So let's talk about features. I mentioned this a little bit earlier. When platforms release a new feature, they want you to use it.
One thing that I learned about Instagram is that they're rolling out features constantly, and it's in your best interest to use them all.
For example, reposts. Like I said earlier in the video, if people repost your content, it will perform better. Another recent feature that Instagram added is the Edits app. I'm sure you've been scrolling and you see that little icon above someone's profile photo that says made with edits. That's exactly what I'm talking about here. Why would Instagram not want to incentivize people to use their new product? Again, it's not just one thing though. You can make a terrible piece of content in Edits and Instagram
Isn't really gonna push it.
because going viral and getting views on Instagram is a combination of everything I've been talking about in this video, not just one thing. Another little feature you can use is the location feature. I personally have not tested it too much, but Instagram has said that it does benefit your local SEO. That said, if you tag something with Washington, DC, Miami, Florida, Los Angeles, California, Instagram will push that video out to more people in that area compared to people anywhere around the world. And another quick feature is Notes. Instagram has had this for about a year now, but you should be using it. Sure, it's not going to be good at reaching new audiences, but it's great at nurturing your current audience, so don't just overlook it. If you want to try to start a conversation, ask a question, or even just put any sort of CTA in that note, it can help strike up a conversation with any of your followers. So the next feature is about carousels. Adam Missouri specifically said,
Carousels give you multiple chances to show up in people's feeds, because we might show the first post in the carousel to someone, and if they don't swipe to the second or the third, we might show it again, automatically swipe to the second or to the third.
so put yourself in the audience's shoes. You could be scrolling and you're gonna find a carousel in your explore page or maybe on your homepage. Maybe you engage with it, you like it, you comment with it, or you just scrolled past it. Then you might be scrolling 10 or 15 minutes later and you see it pop up again, but on a different frame, maybe on the third or the fourth. Instagram does this on purpose to give you another opportunity to engage, and then it collects the data to see which frame people are most likely to engage on. Instagram has also said it's very important to focus on Reels. Over 50% of engagement on Instagram is on Reels, so why wouldn't you be creating them? It's completely counterproductive for your personal brand or your business to not be creating them. And Adam Missouri recently said on his story that there isn't a specific amount of Reels to post every single day.
The unfortunate answer is that there isn't a perfect amount to post. For everybody, the answer is going to be different. And it's not just going to be about what your audience is interested in. And yes, some audiences are going to be wanting more or less content.
Everyone is always obsessing about 1, 2, 3 Reels a day. day, 2 a week, 5 a week, 4 a week, but that doesn't necessarily matter. You need to find what works for you, but also still yields results. I know this video is about what Instagram is saying, but I will add my own nugget in here that I've seen work with me and more so my clients specifically. But when you're focusing on growth, you're gonna wanna be posting once per day or 4 or 5 times a week. I think under that isn't really gonna bring you the engagement or the reach that you want. With that said, I'd like to thank my team members that helped me find all this information on Instagram. And I'd love to hear which one of these pieces of information that I gave to you today from Instagram surprises you or resonates with you the most. Also, if you're interested in more tips on how you can go to Instagram and get your first 1,000 or 10,000 followers, make sure to subscribe for more content. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again on my next YouTube video.